Hi and welcome. Relatively recently I was looking to buy a simple folding knife and I found what I was looking for and gets the job done for me. But that Googling changed the type of adverts that I get and even the YouTube feed that I get when I open YouTube, and so I got a bit into the rabbit hole, and similarly to most other industries and bicycle industry definitely, I can also see a lot of nonsense in the knife industry and a lot of marketing that tries to make money out of our insecurities, fears, and desires and whatnot. So they're doing a very good job, and I wanted to make this video if it helps anyone else with my experience. I am very old, so experience is what I've got a lot of, and one of the things that I was very into is hiking, camping, and all sorts of fixing stuff, simple carpentry, making things out of wood and other stuff. And so over the past decades, I had one knife for almost 15 years, and that knife has served me for hiking, for camping, for preparing food, and making small repairs on a sailing boat in the sea, for summer camping near the seaside, so salt water, a lot of that. And it also has served me in the workshop daily until a few years ago when I finally got a box cutter knife with the blade that I can just replace instead of sharpening. So served for that too, and it's also served me in some tricky situations, or when I had on one occasion a minor motorcycle incident, so I had to slice through the heating or coolant hose to get to the healthy part and reconnect it. So it did everything that knife needs to do, never let me down, and it has held up to a lot of abuse. For especially when I got it, I wanted to see its limits based on what I would expect a knife to do. And the first things that I did when I got it out of the box was that I dropped it tip down straight onto a steel ruler, very thick and sturdy and hard, which was on the floor. So my bad for being clumsy and for not for keeping my tools on the floor. But that knife survived everything. And can you imagine what that knife looks like? What kind of knife that is? So this is the knife, the very knife. So this knife is no longer being made or manufactured as it is here. There is an alternative that is basically a bit less good in my opinion, but that's up for debate. So this is made by Mora Kniv company. It was sold as Mora Clipper, and this particular model was sold by a company called BAHCO, and was designated Baco model 2444. So 3 fours, starting with a 2. It has about my palm width blade length, so about 10 centimeters, and it's very thin, about 2 millimeters is the blade thickness, and the width is about about 1 finger blade width or height, however we want to describe it. And the handle is very simple. I drilled this hole for situations where I wanted to have this not drop, working on a boat, especially on some occasions above the water, and sometimes when working on house insulation and on ladders, I thought it's a jolly good idea to have it secured somehow. And for normal use, that's just nuisance. So the hole is empty, and I did this attachment. The sheath is pretty good, and it holds it in place pretty well. But this was a lot safer for me to sleep better. Handle is very good, grippy. The collars are such that when I drop it, I can easily find it in the grass, especially when it's dark and when you're camping. And as you can see, the blade is flat, and here is flat. No choil even for sharpening, and no serrations on the other side. And this is what does everything well, and it's pretty ergonomic, and the blade starts right from the start, so I can exert a lot of force here. Never had problems sharpening it, even though it does not have that sharpening choil or any finger choils or other nonsense. No, those serrations that called jimping, none of that nonsense. The steel is 12C27, so that is considered not super rust resistant steel, but it is technically stainless steel, and I've never had any problems with this rusting, even in the sea, for just rinsing it with fresh water after finish, not using any sort of oil coating or any nonsense. And it's held up to a lot of use and abuse, and it's still working fine. It cost about $5. I got it when a friend got one and said, hey, I know a super knife for various handyman stuff, because that's what we are both very much into. And so I went and bought one for myself, and after that I bought a few others to give to friends and the family. And this is all the knife that I objectively have needed for the past decades, and it's proven in practice. So everything more expensive, bigger, more complicated is in practice proven for me to be not needed. This knife does not have steel going all the way through its handle, but just a small part of steel going about this length. I will show you what I mean. See this screwdriver. See how the blade is just here inserted in the handle, and everything else is just plastic. So similar principle for this one. It does not have what's called full tang or anything, and apparently that was strong enough to not cause any problems when I did everything that a knife should do, and even some things that I would consider like very harsh use and abuse. I did not do what many people on YouTube do. It's called batoning. That is basically, for those who are not familiar, putting your knife on a wooden plank, piece of wood, and hitting it with another piece of wood in order to cut it into pieces, as you would generally do with an axe. I never needed to do that, even in summer and winter hiking, going to mountains, forests, and camping and everything. For people who must do that, it's maybe a good idea to carry an axe or a small saw. I have a small axe and a small folding saw that I carry sometimes, but for knife things and carrying every day in bicycle touring, motorcycle touring, hiking, this is the kind of knife. And now it's no longer being available. What you can do now is called the Morakniv Companion. That is this knife. I bought this. This is double the price, so this is about €5, dollars. This one cost. Now it's almost 20, I think, in Europe. Almost $20. Don't take my word for it. Double check prices on Amazon.de for the prices in Europe. So this is a bit thicker, and that makes it less nice for cutting food and things like that and slicing. And I did not apparently need anything stronger. This was strong enough, so this is for me just wasted. I like that it's got more radioactive orange color, even shinier, easier to find. That's a plus. The sheath is arguably a bit stronger, better holding, so that's a plus. And what I did with this knife, the only other thing I changed was to create a convex blade profile instead of the factory flat sides. This is called Scandinavian grind, so it has flat sides and then just an angle that starts very steeply from here, and a very small, very cutting edge, a bit blunter angle, the very cutting edge. So that's it. But this knife is not super nice for slicing food. This one, especially when I added the convex blade grind, is very good also for slicing food, like very dry meat, ham or what you call that, and bacon and so on. So good, and for everything with wood, it gets the job done without the edge getting damaged, rolled, chipped, or whatever. So, and this is just, in my opinion, needlessly a bit heavier and thicker without any real benefits, unless you like uh, pretending it's an X. Even for that, I think it's on the other side a bit too weak. So that's for the knives, and everything bigger than that is generally, I would say, for most use cases, needless, just extra weight that has its downsides. And this is, on the other hand, very light to carry, not too bulky, and the sheath has a hole so that no water is stuck inside, and leather sheaths look very nice, and there are knives that look like works of art. There are knives that look like super military whatnot, mostly nonsense. This is this is simple tool with good handle that's comfortable, that blade starts right away, no nonsense, and you just it's large enough without being too large, and the materials are rubber, and it's good in the summer heat, it's good in the cold, works okay. So in terms of even blade hardness, rust resistance, everything, there are relatively affordable steels like 14C28N, which is slightly better at everything than this knife steel, which is 12C27. So if this was good enough, that a bit better steel is definitely, I would say, good enough for me. And those super steels that get advertised, I have a small Leatherman. I made this short video about my Leatherman Charge multi-tool that has S30V knife steel, and that's just a bit more tricky to sharpen very quickly. And for the rest things, it will resist getting dull from abrasion, from working a bit longer. But if you do something silly and get it dull quickly, and we all make mistakes then, it's just a bit less practical to sharpen. So in my opinion, this and experience, this is everything that makes sense, and things that look a lot like this are generally good tools, and things that look like super exotic, new, are just trying to take your money, and you will get an inferior tool, which is okay if you're happy with it. I don't mind, I don't care, but I prefer, or at least prefer, that's, it doesn't matter what I prefer, but I just wanted to share this so that hopefully it helps you and gives you some perspective. And that's it. I might make some more knife related videos. I will see how, if things align, but this is what I wanted to share, because I really wanted and had to take a step back after getting a lot of information, and to consider, well, I know how to use knives, I know how to work with them and sharpen them and everything, and things that have proven to work well are not what is being advertised as super very good and very high quality. And things that are advertised as very good have many aspects that are made to make life more complicated and to make use a bit more complicated. So at least that's how it seems to me. I could be completely wrong. I learn every day and every year, but so far I wanted to test some alternatives to see if maybe I'm missing something. When I test it firsthand, it's different, but so far what I could manage to get my hands on and do a bit of work, I've just reconfirmed what I've already experienced and learned. So that's the whole video. I hope you found it informative, and of course don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I also have a channel membership that you can use to support my work, and Patreon, so that also means a lot. Thank you very much to the good people who support my work, and that's it. I will see you in some other video. Cheers, stay cool.